by Susan Jane Harrison.
Touch, a stage play by Susan Jane Harrison. Touch was originally written in 2013 as a radio play. The play takes place in 2054 in what has become the Eastern Coalition. Sound and light play a large role in the play in terms of revealing the technology of this world. People have implants and can engage technology through physical and vocal commands to view, document, record, send messages, and more. Act 1, heavy rain. 2 locations simultaneously, a harsh detention cell where Marcus is being interviewed, a comfortable interview room where Rose waits, reading a magazine.
Thank you. Begin recording. 1600 hours, 8th November 2054, Precinct 111, River District. Officers Moody and Grimm present. Gender assignment?
Male.
Identity?
Same.
Male identified, Marcus, state your last name, please.
Ananajado.
Non-native to the city.
I wasn't born here.
Did you know the victim?
Alleged
Victim previously.
Virtually, via Instabook, voice to voice, or any context whatsoever?
No.
No previous intimacy.
No.
We are here to establish if unwanted physical contact has occurred. The visuals of the incident have been analyzed. The question remains, was it consensual
We've got you
or
down
unwanted?
as doctor, is that correct?
Doctor, professor, yes.
Professor on a what a mouthful. What do your students call you?
Marcus, professor, both.
Central City University, St. Stephen's College?
Yes.
Position?
Anthropology.
Specific area of study? You are required to respond, please.
Contact.
Explain.
My field of study is semiotics, study of signs and meaning with an emphasis on how signs function to enable individuals in a social group to connect with each other.
Do you understand why you're here?
Have you asked her? Have you asked Dr. Ventimiglia if the contact I initiated was unwanted?
Her opinion isn't relevant to this inquiry.
How can that be the case? The experience of each individual should be part of any inquiry, shouldn't it?
Didn't I call it? He's a culture jumping disruptor.
Yeah, Grim. Pull up the professor's job application, if you please. Sir, I'm keen to hear what happened from your perspective.
I request a lawyer.
Lawyers aren't required for this level of inquiry.
For fuck's sake!
Transition, light shift to interview room, rain and the sound of distant aerial traffic.
Can you tell me what happened? Take your time. Would you like to talk to a professional empathizer first?
No.
Dr. Ventimiglia, we can do this later if you like.
No.
Do you understand the definition of unwanted physical contact?
Of course.
UPC?
Of course.
Then you understand it's important to ascertain whether the contact was actually unwanted.
I've never seen them before today. They're not an acquaintance.
It's simple then, isn't it? The contact can't possibly have been desired. All you have to do is tell me clearly, yes, this was UPC.
What if I'm not particularly offended?
You mean by the contact? Well, you work at Harvest Labs, don't you?
Yes.
experienced, quite a high-level position. And you're working on,
I'm not permitted to say what I'm working on.
oh, everyone's heard of Touch Blocker, your company's main product. As someone closely connected to this product that protects people from touch discomfort, I'm struggling to understand your residence in answering this simple question. In today's close proximity environments, the UPC law is designed to protect people from touch violation.
Officer Moody, in order to evaluate, I'm curious about what this person's reasons were for making contact.
They identify as male.
If I knew why he made
Do you
contact, then
agree with the law?
I have no opinion on the law. As a scientist, I have a narrow focus. I live alone, I work with DNA, matters of social justice aren't my arena, so I should weigh my response carefully. That's it.
Would you like to take a break?
I've been taking a break for the last hour. Do I seem fragile to you?
No. Just a bit tense.
Naturally.
What happened? From your perspective.
I was in the subway, walking towards the platform. It was crowded. He was coming the other way. Suddenly, he touched me. That was it.
Did he speak? Say anything to you?
We didn't speak. He held on to me, so I pinged for the guard.
Is that exactly what happened? All that happened?
Yes.
From the footage, it looked like there were words exchanged.
I was shocked. I suppose nothing was said that I can remember.
Light shift. Sound of a crowded subway train. All passengers will stay to the right, please.
Dr. Ventimiglia,
Yes?
I'm your neighbor, downstairs.
Downstairs.
I'm in the apartment below yours. Can we talk? Because, firstly, I want you to know that I understand. I do, I totally understand. And I can see that what you're engaged in doing to yourself.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. Here you are, it seems like I should try to intervene.
Let go.
I'm sorry, but there you were. You were walking straight towards me.
Let go.
Of course.
You've been watching
I'm sorry.
me. On the balcony of my apartment?
Please, Dr. Ventimiglia. Please, I didn't mean to.
Pin guard and my location?
Light shift, interview room.
He seemed kind of distressed. He just took my arm. He wouldn't let it go, so I pinged for the guard.
Let go of what?
Of me.
You said, let it go.
The arm. I was embarrassed, Officer Moody. Everyone was staring. I didn't know who he was or what he wanted, and so I pinged for the guard. Only last week, one of the pushers manhandled me to the carriage. By my ass.
License pusher has security level 6.
Really, there's a regulation stating security level 6 ass pushing?
There are plenty of laws you and I may think are ridiculous. No. You may do it again. Commit a grievous UPC in the future if he's not reprimanded. Professor Harder is not someone who respects society's tattoos. The charge is one of assault. You need to state whether this was wanted or unwanted. Yes or no.
So binary of you, Officer Moody. He's a complete stranger, and if I said it was wanted, it'll affect my public profile.
Well, if you could have told to us in greater, more intimate detail what occurred, it will become more clear and everyone can go home. Theoretically.
What are you getting at?
Just making a general outline of strategies that, if followed, would make this easier.
Huh. You want me to agree to remote viewing, don't you? Open up my memories to your dirty little team while you assert how impartial you are? No, thank you.
The record will find that I said nothing of the sort.
Because you're not permitted to suggest remote viewing. as a no on my part would be deemed prejudicial to my own position.
Which is why I would never suggest this, Dr. Vanamita. Only you can suggest remote viewing.
Right. Only I can suggest it.
Dr. Vanamita, I just want to be clear here. Are you suggesting remote viewing?
Absolutely not.
Just wanted to be 100% clear, as indeed that would be the easiest option should you choose to select it.
Unbelievable.
I agree.
What?
There is something you're not saying, which gives this whole event...
Unbelievable.
Indeed. Which gives this whole business a lack of apparent veracity. Think about it. I'll be back.
Light shift, detention cell, heavier rain.
Now, Professor, you omitted to mention that you were fired. Access faculty meetings, St. Stephen's Anthropology Department. Yeah. It is agreed by the committee that Professor
Anaranjados.
apologies. Professor Anaranjados agreed that Professor Anaranjados' methods are inappropriate. We can no longer endorse the professor's teaching nor fund his research. Specific concerns are as follows: encouraging touch as a method of example. What does this refer to? Are we to understand that you required your students to embrace...
No. I suggested that those who felt comfortable doing so practice shaking hands in greeting. Their engagement with this exercise, or lack of, had no effect on students' final grades, which is, in my view, all that matters, correct? Consent.
Oh, that's rich, coming from you.
What was its purpose then? Furthermore, this professor's insistence on teaching students in a physically present groupings on a bi-weekly basis is considered regressive and shows an extravagant disregard for departmental funding. Evidence brought by the professor citing research involving hands-on learning found to be entirely specious.
Hands-on?
Has Dr. Ventimiglia confirmed the charge of UPC or not?
She was upset, nearly hysterical. She's disgusted, in fact.
Disgusted?
And you touched her. It's disgusting. We've got UPC, solid character evidence from university. Oh, and past misconduct involving a friend's wife.
What misconduct?
Oh, you tell us.
I don't know what it says in your files, or how... Is there an additional charge I don't know about?
Right? No charge.
Why mention it then? I wasn't exactly liked in my department. What you have there is an expression of bias. None of this pertains to the alleged incident.
Everything is a matter of public record. We are trying to form a picture since both of you have been remarkably unforthcoming.
She was unforthcoming. What did she say?
It's what she didn't say.
He has no idea how lucky he is. I mean, here's this lovely, kind woman not wanting to rat on you. I mean, you're an immigrant, right?
What has that got to do with it?
Let's be clear. It's not about ethnicity or language. It's about codes of conduct and a commitment to shared values. It's also about resources. I mean, immigration should be restricted to people from coalition sister states.
I underwent rigorous examination. Despite where I'm from, I personally resonate with, I'm aligned with it. Oh, it's clear
Aligned with our values. You know, as far as I can see, you were unpopular at your place of work because you don't fit in. And, there's also hacking.
I've been charged with hacking.
Yeah, not yet, but there's a record of it. Using your friend's passcode. That same friend, it seems, whose wife you decided to...
No, you have not been charged with hacking. Has he, Grim? We will leave this here.
You can't hold me if she doesn't press charges.
Well, she's bound to, isn't she?
Unless you know something about her, which she wouldn't want to know.
Like shift, interview room.
That bruise there, right over the vein, you must have grasped your arm pretty hard to cause that.
No, it wasn't forceful. It was just, well, what? I don't know. Sort of insistent.
May I see?
No, you may not.
Why not? I mean, if it's relevant to the case.
I
then
just
we-
said that it doesn't have anything to do with him.
That looks like a botched injection. You run lab experiments, don't you?
The trial tests are done at a hospital-based lab. They don't involve me directly. I have no idea what this has to do with...
You'd be surprised how many doctors we see in here. I'm required to make sure you know about the empathy clause. Do you?
No.
The empathy clause involves remote viewing, which I state for the record I am not suggesting you undertake, but it is my responsibility to make sure you've been informed about this clause.
Go on.
The empathy clause. Remote viewing by consent by both parties may be undertaken to share private information known only to each party. Such viewing may be undertaken by Dr. Naranjo and you, Dr. Vanavia. If in this process you experience heightened empathy vis-a-vis Dr. Naranjo's motivations, you may choose to retract the UPC complaint without prejudice to either party, and with no impact to your security rating.
Really?
Yes, it's as easy as that.
Okay. I invoke the empathy clause and I propose remote viewing. Happy.
Supremely tranquil. He has to agree to it as well.
Of course.
Access Grim. Grim, show him in, please.
What's this?
Advanced new methods. Humane solutions. We give you a chance to talk to each other, and once you've sorted out your options, you ping us, we'll come and fetch you both.
You're joking.
May I leave you to it? I'll be right outside the store. You can ping me at any time. Are you on board with this, Dr. Vanamita? I think we've examined all the options. I think we understand each other. This room has no monitoring devices installed. It accords to protocols.
Okay. Leave it to us then. That man, he's an officer here?
What, do you know him or something?
No, just seen him around.
Do you feel disgusted?
What?
Violated?
By you? No.
Then we can both go home, right? I mean, that's the logical conclusion to no, I don't feel violated.
Go home, where you can stalk me freely.
Stalk you? No, I didn't.
Unwanted physical contact, UPC, pales in comparison to what you actually did.
Can you just tell me, can you just tell them whether you wanted the contact or not?
Wanted it?
No, sorry, I mean, whether you were basically okay with it.
How could I be okay with it? I don't know you. You touched me. How could that possibly be welcome? What's this supposed to mean?
I waylaid you out of a sense of compassion. It was nothing personal.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really, no idea.
None. Explain yourself.
Do you believe I intended to violate you?
What I believe is irrelevant. That's the problem. I have a job I love, and I can't...
So do I. A few months ago.
I'm hoping I might have one again.
My job is all I have. This isn't just about your bizarre behavior or whether I'm basically okay with it. I'm not allowed to drop the complaint. I have to say you're at fault or that I wanted it. There's no basically okay clause here.
Oh my God, it's also binary.
Right? That's what I said. As a scientist, I appreciate clear parameters. But this situation is so...
Complex.
Yes. Why were you watching me?
When?
Before the incident? When you were watching me? In my apartment?
There's a totally understandable explanation for that.
Were you sent to watch me? Like hired to watch me?
No, definitely not.
Was it personal? Did you get off on watching me?
No. There are plenty of places to do that without all this hassle. No.
Prove it. Prove to me that you weren't getting off. Show me.
Show you what? Me not getting off? Sure, it looks kind of like this. Look, I can explain exactly what was happening. I was...
No. How do I know that you're telling the truth? Allow me to access your memories. Verify your motives for watching me. This could be a win-win.
Really? How so?
Sharing mind space gives me the option to activate the empathy clause and dismiss the charges without damaging my security ratings or yours. Depending on what I see, I could drop
You
it.
want me to let you inside my head. Yet you're offended that I touched you. On the arm.
No, not offended, but...
Is a touch on the arm intimate to you?
What do you mean?
Is a touch on the arm intimate to you?
It can be, I guess.
Sharing mind space with a total stranger. Oh yeah, that's not intimate at all. Okay.
Okay, what?
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Absolutely not!
Share your memories with me too. Fine. Take it or leave it. You should think carefully before turning this down, though.
Why?
Because you don't hold all the cards.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean.
Are you threatening me?
Not exactly.
Not exactly.
Look, I did something against the law.
You did two things that's against the law. Spying on me carries a heavier weight than UPC.
Yet you refrained from reporting me spying on you, right?
So far.
Uh-huh. You didn't report it. Because I'm not the only one who has something to hide. You think Moody won't make full use of any information that comes to light? Empathy is a brew best shared with company.
What?
Where I'm from, people say that. It means empathy is most effective when it's a two-way street. If we understand each other's motives, a positive outcome is highly likely.
I see. Okay.
Just
the relevant events.
Yeah. For the same time period, just the two of us. Private viewing only.
You go first. I'll view you first.
Nope.
You go first?
No, you.
Can we just get on with this?
Sure. Yeah, if you go first. You suggested this. I'm the one acquiescing.
How is that relevant to turn order?
Have some grace and go first.
You're the one facing a charge, not me.
You have a job to lose. I don't.
Okay. Okay.
Act 2, a liminal space.
Dr. Anaranjado.
Well done, most people stumble on that. Call me Marcus, since we're doing this.
Call me Rose. Can you see what I'm seeing?
No. I've got your thought echo, but no visual.
How about now?
Yes.
This is my bedroom. Yesterday.
Sound of morning ambiance in Rose's small studio apartment, very high up. Distant sound of aerial traffic, horns of barges on the river, pigeons. Rose's home system blips on.
Rise and shine, Dr. Vanamita, rise and shine.
Shut up, I'm awake. Oh,
Music as requested.
I didn't ask for music.
Apologies. Morning radio coming up right up.
Despite worker shortage and the vast aging population, central government today announced that
River Walk Tower Corporation, providing apartments in high proximity.
Sonny, I didn't ask for the radio.
I mean, there we were pointing our fingers at Japan 50 years ago.
startling low birth rates, highly restricted immigration laws.
Striking lack of romantic aspirations among youth, heading for a total crisis that we now find ourselves in today. Well, the Japanese, on the other hand.
Sorry, my home system's malfunctioned. It's flicking through the airwaves. There's been some issues since I upgraded.
Have you been giving Sunny enough attention?
What do you mean?
Just like a person or a pet, they perform better if you engage with them.
Yet, here we are, years later. We're not laughing now.
Well, there are listeners out there who would argue that the Eastern State Coalition is markedly different from the Nippon territories.
Oh, God damn it!
Government-operated systems ensure complete protection of information. CityFace is a monitored network providing
More closures of 5 maternity wards around the city. Government spokesperson has confirmed a plan to
Sonny,
encourage young people to partner-
offline now. This isn't relevant. It starts later. Give me a minute to find it.
Rose swipes through her memories.
Where'd it go? Sorry. Okay, here we are. Look out for a familiar face. Still yesterday, 45 minutes later, in the subway.
Fade up on subway. Sound of pinging as doors open. Doors opening. Stand aside for exiting passengers, please. There is no gap between platform and car.
Can you move in a bit, Your Eminence? Good, great. I'm sure you can find a little more room in there. Gonna push you in here, Your Eminence.
My ass?
Jesus!
We select the softest area of the body to avoid bruising. Gloves are sanitized thrice daily. Safe journey.
Doors closing. Stand clear of the closing doors.
Oh my God. It's Professor Grimm.
Train lurches. People attempt to maintain balance.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch your hand. I was afraid I'd fall. I'm sorry, please don't report me.
Passengers will refrain from speaking while on board the train to ensure all passengers remain free from unwanted contact while in enforced proximity with others. Should you be acquainted with anyone on this train, you may PM them by designated airwaves. The train stops, people exit. Grimm detains Rose.
You can touch me again.
Pause. Have you ever done this before?
What? Touch someone on the subway? Clearly I have, otherwise we wouldn't be here. I'm refraining from pointing out the hypocrisy.
I mean, have you ever shared mind space with anyone like we're doing now?
Only in real time.
In real time, in the same room? Why? If you're already in physical proximity in the moment, why would you want to share thoughts?
Well, it can People do it to intensify certain experiences, shared experiences.
Oh, I see.
Of course, I've participated in remote viewing when they want to evaluate student-professor interactions, but thoughts are screened off in that scenario.
I'd like to swap now.
Sure. Okay, this is yesterday, Tuesday afternoon.
Marcus slips through his memories. Rose has vertigo.
Wait a minute. Context is important when it comes to empathy, so in order for you to understand the root of this, I have to start back in last week. Okay, here goes. Exactly 1 week ago, afternoon.
Sound of Marcus's apartment ambiance. Aerial traffic. City barges. City face tone pings. Marcus puts it on hold. Series of blips. Caller holding. City face. The service that. Blip. Marcus answers.
You put me on hold?
Accidental.
You're working from home now?
All professors do it these days. Remote instruction.
I thought you didn't approve.
No, I don't.
So, what's new?
Wait a minute. I thought you lost your job.
Yes, I'm lying to him about working at home.
I've got 5 minutes before my next meeting. After that, I'm swamped. If you don't want to talk, Marcus, we can postpone.
Why are you so touchy?
Me? You're the one who's touchy. Is it raining there? Cloudy?
No.
You're behaving like you do when it's overcast. Remember that long, dark winter when you punched me just because?
Remember, you never let me forget it. It wasn't because it was winter. I hated all the restrictions. Winter as an opportunity to learn about God's love 24/7, that's my association with winter. I'd rather be skiing.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with God's love.
If that's the case, then why did you leave the community?
I haven't left the community. I just don't live there anymore.
Where are you right now?
Well, I'm currently on the 200th floor of a very tall building.
Singapore?
No, that was last week.
Mumbai?
Line interference. Bleeps.
Sam, you still there?
City face is a government-operated system. GOSs provide more interference. Sam is distorted.
GOS doesn't reveal building in national border.
What? I didn't catch that.
It's security prop, encountering more strict since taking on ambassadorial role. Should okay if we talk something else.
Word association? Match. Your turn.
Stick.
Hit.
Ball.
Sun.
How'd you get from ball to sun?
The sun, the glowing ball in the sky. It's a visual rhyme. Words aren't just collections of sounds that signify meaning. Words stand in for images. Ancient cultures have been known to rhyme in hieroglyph.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Well, initially, writing didn't correlate to spoken language. It only conveyed meaning. Yet, despite the nonverbal nature of hieroglyphs, visual rhymes existed, giving the written language an additional layer of meaning, a hidden felt sense beyond words.
You've lost me.
Well, it's visual, so it's hard to talk about. The artist M.C. Escher, a great example of visual rhyming, although any meaning one attempts to extract from his work is less defined and more subjectively felt.
Uh-huh.
In hieroglyph, if the scribe enacted the writing for a beloved or for the subject of a hope for conquest, the act of rhyming itself became the vehicle of their love. Think of a nautilus shell coupled with the spine of a woman in repose. There's a repetitive visual pattern, an echo which can be said to fit, repeat, or to rhyme.
For a scientist, you're kind of ridiculous.
Research often begins by imagining your way around the facts, but honestly, I've only been able to visualize like this since the psilocybin treatment.
Well, at least it helped you.
It did, completely.
How's work going?
Oh, well, you know, it's a little lonely. How's your wife?
That's my wife. How do we get from work to wife?
Work and wife rhyme. Literally.
I mean, she says she's fine. We haven't seen each other for 2 months or so.
What? Why?
Why? What do you mean?
That's a long time.
I travel a lot.
You choose to travel a lot.
Marcus, you know how it is. I don't like sex, and she does.
Right.
The majority of people don't partner at all. I don't see why I should have to keep justifying who I am.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, but you told me so. I shouldn't have gotten married.
This is the problem with the community.
Yeah, you can say that again. You gotta carry it on, son, etc., etc. At least I wanted kids. At least I got that part.
You're unhappy, and you basically agree with me. I begged you to come with me when I immigrated.
Well, how's that going for you, Marcus?
Life isn't perfect.
Exactly. It's not as free over there as you hoped, is it?
No, it's not. How's my godson?
Great. He's the silver lining.
So, ultimately, what's the problem?
Katya and I fight all the time. I've got a girlfriend.
What?
A virtual girlfriend.
Oh, no, I'm confused. I thought you didn't like it.
No, nothing like that. Not porn, not a hookup. I go online and there she is, waiting for me. I arrange dates with her. I take her to restaurants, buy her gifts. It's very civilized. We go to parks and galleries together.
Literally.
Literally, virtually.
She's not real then.
But she's real to me.
I was just clarifying whether it's
Yeah, not it. She.
whether she's a real person behind the avatar, whether this girlfriend is like their online persona or something like that.
No, AI, computer generated. It's well, I guess technically it's an online game, a game called
Girlfriend.
Yes. Nothing to say, Mr. X community. Nothing to say about freedom of expression, an affirmation that my asexuality is normal and nothing to be ashamed of. That it's entirely okay to seek connection from AI, and why not, in fact?
Of course, but
And that someone who is asexual can have desire for intimacy just like anyone else. I mean, there's a whole lot of judgment going on behind that.
have you
scholarly?
told Katya?
Of course not.
How dishonest is that?
Yeah, she knows who I am.
Now that she's married to you, she does.
Wow.
What? No, what stopped you from telling her before you signed the irrevocable contract? Oh, let me guess. The community. You should have married someone like you, or had an open arrangement. How much happier you'd both be.
You're such an asshole.
Yeah, well, back at you, friend. Sam, when was the last time you saw each other? When was the last time we saw each other?
Last week. What?
No, not like this. I mean, actually saw.
I'm seeing you now.
Face to face.
I can see your ugly face. This is face share.
But if I wanted to hug you, I can't, can I?
You mean when we were last physically in the same room?
Well, yeah.
Last time we were both in the same room, we were 24.
Look, Sam, do you think it might be possible for us to meet in person?
I'd love to.
Really?
I really would, but my schedule's packed.
Oh.
What about a year from now? Go skiing, perhaps?
A year from now.
I have time. A year from now. It'd be great to see you.
What's the point of having an ambassadorial role if you can't make room for people?
Marcus, we speak every week. I don't do this with anyone else. Honestly, I have no other friends.
You surprise me.
If I'm saying I can make the time for you, know that you're the only person I am making time for. So, Let's put it on the calendar.
I may not be alive next year.
What are you saying, Marcus?
No, not that. It's just, in the greater scheme of things, I just...
No, don't you ever say that you might not be alive, you fucker.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I mean, neither of us may be alive next year. I just mean life is tenuous. I feel it every day. We just never know how long we'll be here. That's what makes life beautiful. Valuing every moment. Debemos vivir en el momento.
You know I have PTSD, right?
I know, I'm sorry.
Do you? Are you? Hooray for you with your psychoactive drug treatment, the amazing cure-all. Felicidades.
Pause! I think I should explain this to you, because maybe you might find it helpful.
What do you mean?
I've been self-medicating, starting when I was 12. I overdosed shortly before I immigrated. Sam found me. Compassionate allowance formed the basis of my visa petition. Psychoactive treatments for mental health issues aren't legal at home. The crazy thing is I only needed one treatment. Sam doesn't get it.
The way you and Sam relate, it's so different. I've only seen that kind of intensity between people who hate each other. Like my parents, where there's no coming back from it.
In my experience, it's usually love that provokes this intensity of response.
That part about Sam's wife,
Yes.
this is a lot. I mean, a lot of personal context.
Oh, are you what, offended?
No, but now I understand. I mean, this is what people mean when they say something feels intimate. I guess it's my turn. Yesterday again, mid-morning at work.
Sound of lab ambiance. Rose has her bare hand in a tank and is touching an anemone.
Is that an anemone?
Yes.
Wow! And you can touch it like that?
You don't know if I'm prey, predator, or friend, do you? Via your thread cells. Embrace me as I invade your world. People say that you're sticky, but this isn't true. Soft, nebulous. Grapple with my finger. Oh, it's rough like a cat's tongue. The hand of the person on the subway was like that.
Who's that?
My manager.
Bluetooth! Use your Bluetooth!
Drying my hands, Griffin. Bluetooth.
Playing with the anemones, Doctor? You've surprised me twice today. How refreshing.
Surprised you? How so?
We have deadlines. I expected to see you working in that darling little cubicle an hour ago. Surprised, startled to see you absent. And now, here you are playing in the anemone tank with no gloves on. Leaving aside how weird this is, generally aghast is how I would describe myself.
There was a subway delay.
Which one did you take?
City line, the 809 South.
So did I. There were no delays. I was here, but you weren't.
I apologize.
Not accepted.
Could you come in here, please? I'd like to speak to you.
Speak to me? We're speaking.
I have an idea which could save us hours in the long run. And I'm late because I took a little more time at home this morning in order to develop my thoughts.
Indeed.
Is that true?
No, I was Late because I got off 4 stops early after what happened with Officer Grimm on the subway. If the anesthetic enzyme sourced from local anemones isn't working anymore, do we have to scrap it altogether?
Logically, yes. The quickest way to get product on the market is to move it to another source.
California anemones are in high demand, and their shipping costs, whereas our Atlantic anemones...
Is our work valuable, Dr. Vantanita?
Of course, exactly. And let's face it, Griffin, people use our touch blocker to alleviate social awkwardness. Okay, touch is uncomfortable, but no one's gonna die if we take a little longer.
It's in use on the battlefield.
I'm sorry. I know you've experienced that firsthand, but we're not talking about soldiers. People who have developed resistance to the stock are regular users. People who work in non-threatening, touch-heavy environments.
As of next year, mandated by law, doctors will be required to offer touch blocker to all patients.
Yes, there's a large market, and inevitably we'll come up against increased resistance to any new genus as well. Let's think ahead, Griffin. With just a little extra time, we could find a way to continue to source from local marine life ongoing.
You're ambitious, aren't you? I'm not wasting precious trial licenses on new versions of old anemone stock.
You're saying no then?
Yes, I'm saying no. And don't bring it up again. Any demotion in your status will alter your security rating, affecting not only this position, but also future employment.
I see.
Is it clear?
No one could fault you for lack of clarity, Griffin.
Thief, as Rose disengages Bluetooth, Griffin is gone.
There was no point in telling her that I've started developing it.
So that's what I saw then, in your apartment.
We'll get to that.
You were experimenting. Wow, she's a real hard ass.
The worst. I went to see my grandmother during my break, right after. Albany Park, later that day.
Transition to a garden in a square. Sound of pigeons. Quiet, distant talk. Rose's grandmother is teaching her a breathing technique.
Okay, with me. Breathing in, breathing out.
Nani, it's making me hyperventilate.
Be patient. Try it again.
Breathing in.
Good, but don't hold your breath.
I wasn't.
Watch me. Rosie, your voice is, my gosh, it's racing.
I'm okay.
Oh, you've never been a particularly anxious person. Try again.
That makes me dizzy.
Well, it will make you feel dizzy at first. That's because your body isn't used to taking in all that oxygen. My generation, we were all so anxious to begin with. Those of us that are still alive, we've learned to calm down. Calm is found in the breath, in the body, in this moment. How are things at work?
Terrible. Terrible. My research is going well, but I can't communicate with my supervisor. She prefers to speak to me through the glass via Bluetooth. I get the feeling that if we were in the same room, she'd just smash something. She's sitting on me, won't let me advance, and threatens me with demotion if I diverge her from her program.
How interesting. What's she afraid of?
Someone coming down on her if she steps out of line?
So she wants you to stop being innovative.
Because innovation is uncertain. And what I do reflects on her. I haven't thought about it like that.
You're not used to listening to yourself, are you?
This morning on the subway, I accidentally grabbed someone's hand. The train stopped suddenly. I just reached out instinctively.
That's awesome!
Nani, it's UPC. It's definitely not awesome.
These laws are ridiculous.
The work I do is all about preventing touch discomfort.
There's value in a certain amount of discomfort. And we can really fuck things up when we go on our way to avoid it. What happened next?
I apologized profusely, and then they asked me to touch them again. Is this funny to you, Nani?
Well, it's not funny, actually, but it proves my point. They wanted you to touch their hand again. Nothing more, nothing less. Color me amazed. These laws and fetishes about the most casual touch, we probably have a wide enough range of fetishes at this point. Enjoyed a few fetishes in my day. Do we really need to create this much awkwardness just to have a wider range of kink?
So, Nani, according to you, kink is the driving force behind the UPC laws?
No, of course not. But it's more entertaining to think about it like this. And it does have an effect on people. For many of that, of us, which is transgressive, it's arousing. Oh my God, don't look so shocked.
Vaya, te dice bien, hombre.
This morning, a pusher shoved me on my ass. When I complained, they said their gloves were sanitized numerous times a day. That was it. That was their response. Nani, I think they did it because they could, not because they enjoyed it.
You mean they believe they can touch you however they like if they don't enjoy it?
Yes.
Well, how do you know they didn't enjoy it?
It felt anonymous.
Well, harassment usually feels anonymous. But it's personal that touches us. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Perhaps, I don't know.
Maybe they were fighting back.
Against what?
When I was your age, it was sardines 24/7. But we millennials, we can't manage the subway anymore. And as we're the largest age group, the subway is a lot less crowded without us. Last time when I had that fall and broke my hand, everybody just screamed past over me.
How's your hand doing?
Wonderful. Your colleague did a great job. Given the shrinking population, the pushers, their days are numbered and they know it. No one likes to feel redundant. Thus, the ass shoving. That's my theory at any rate. Rosie, don't let your supervisor sit on your innovation. What's the worst that can happen?
I'll lose my job. I'll be able to get another.
No, that's not good. Forget my advice. But find a way to reach your supervisor and find some area in your life that you can sink and ease into it. That's all I'm saying.
Music from within the park. Dubstep. Skrillex.
Oh, God. When the elders get out the dubstep, it's time to leave. I used to love this song. Now it sounds like noise.
Pause. Dubstep.
Transition.
Lab. 10 minutes later. Sunny, play Skrillex. Louder!
What on earth is this noise?
What? I can't hear you.
This!
Oh, this classical music. Inspiring, helps me concentrate.
When was the last time you were in for a psychological evaluation?
Let me get on with my work, please.
Griffin leaves. Rose does a complex dance of checking the time, ducking down, counting, popping up, opening a cupboard, getting something out, closing the cupboard, popping down.
Duck. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Now quickly. There it is. Got it. Shit, no, I got it. Stay calm. Act normal.
Pause. It's hard to follow your thoughts here.
My thoughts were all over the place. I was nervous. The lab is monitored all the time, but there's a 10-second gap in surveillance once every hour. I'd already engineered a modified compound, the one I hoped Griffin would give the go-ahead for, which I'd hid in this cupboard amongst the empties. I've retrieved it, so I can keep working on it. Feeling a little dizzy.
Okay. Let me find the next moment I want to share. This is later. Same day, yesterday, right before I came up to your apartment.
Marcus's apartment ambiance, nighttime. Faint sound of wind chimes. Marcus is in the middle of facing with Sam. It's getting heated.
What do you mean by that?
I'm telling you I can't meet until winter. I can't be more available than that.
You call me any time of the day or night. I always answer no matter what. Half the time you have no idea what time it is, where you physically are, and then you miscalculate the time where I am, and if I don't answer, you call right away. You ping me until I do. You may live in the clouds, but we are still biorhythmic creatures.
What the fuck?
Sound of footsteps from above.
You got me off
I've
track.
been off track for years. You sound like my wife.
She has my sympathy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've always felt sorry for Katya.
Sound of footsteps.
What is that? Is there an elephant over there or something?
It's the person in the apartment above. No, actually you're right. It's an elephant. It's the elephant in the room.
Pause. Is that me pacing?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't know I could be heard, and those are my wind chimes.
Yes. I like those. Resume.
Oh, you're outdoing yourself today, Marcus. So, what's the elephant in the room?
Okay. Well, firstly, to be totally honest,
Go on.
it's too bad you don't like sex.
What?
You don't know what you're missing.
Meaning?
You don't know what you're missing with your wife. You have this beautiful, incredible person right there in your house, and you act like she's the dining room table or a footrest or one of your towels. But really, there's an entire world there, right under your nose.
Are you speaking generally or preaching to me about sex? Because if so, this is really offensive.
It's not about sex. No, generally.
About sex specifically? I can't wait. Go on, Professor. Educate me about sex.
No, I'm specifically talking about your wife.
You hardly know Katya.
Unlike you and me, Katya and I have met a few times over the years.
You have?
Yes, don't you remember? 3 years ago, she came to the city, and you asked her to bring me a gift. Oh, okay. Listen, I'm just generally saying that throughout human history.
No, fuck human history. Are you trying to tell me something about Katya? About you and Katya? Marcus.
Marcus cuts off the call. Announcement. Your city face call has been terminated.
Shit! Message, Sam. Sam, sorry about that. Our connection dropped. There's been a lot of solar activity lately. Send.
Sound of heavy thudding from above.
What the fuck is going on up there? Will you keep it down?
Marcus grabs a broom and rams the ceiling.
Damn it! Now there's a hole in the ceiling.
Sin-faced incoming call. Marcus does not answer. He opens another memory.
Access memory of Katya. 3 years ago.
The sound of waves. This is a memory Marcus is accessing within the memory. It's all voiceover.
Katya,
Have you done it before?
yes. No, not as much as I'd like.
You did like it?
No, I did. I liked it. Oh, I did.
And now?
Yes. Yes.
Sound of waves fades out.
I didn't get the visuals on that.
No. Thankfully, you can't. You can't have two visuals going at once.
Did you mean to share that with me?
I'm determined to give you complete context. After revisiting that memory, I messaged Sam. Sam, I just asked if you come visit me the next time you're here in the city at your convenience. Call me eccentric, call me needy, but to call me what? What did he call me at this point? Delete! Surely I'm not the only person in the world who feels the need to be in the same actual room with my best friend from time to... Delete! Some things are easier to talk about in the same room. Delete! As an anthropologist, I am dismayed at our collective departure from normal human engagement. And when I say normal, I simply mean...
Sound of footsteps from above. Ping of a message arriving.
Getting in the first word, Sam? What do you have to say for yourself?
Due to our long friendship, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt regarding your little comments. Though I have to say I'm deeply disappointed. Do you know how pathetic you sound? I've just now faced off with my professional empathizer. I understand that your struggle with intimacy leads you to project your own issues onto me. I have nothing more to say at the moment. I'm about to face share with Katya.
Thud upstairs.
Okay, this is it!
Marcus swipes to place a call. Electronic ringing is heard. Tenant 902, you've reached management. How may I help?
The person in the apartment above is making too much noise.
Oh my God, you called management?
Yes.
Too much noise. Is this the complaint?
Yes.
How much noise?
Too much.
Please rephrase in a decibel format.
Hang on. The noise isn't continuous.
In order to register a complaint,
Yes, I said hold on.
kindly requesting to remain calm, ma'am.
My pronouns are him, his, just sir.
1,000 apologies, sir. Gender identity plugin damaged in latest software upgrade resulting in randomization of pronouns. This manager, awaiting OS patch. Waiting patiently.
There. Did you register that?
I am not authorized to measure. Tenants must do so on the decibel scale and ping the reading to us within 4 minutes of complaint.
Oh, okay. Analyze loudest noise in last 60 seconds. Pinging to you now.
I am afraid, Your Eminence, this reading, well within reasonable limits.
In what way reasonable?
You are not at any risk for hearing damage, as described by section...
Can I register a disturbance?
Most regrettably, no. This noise well within decibel limits for a high-rise residence.
It's annoying.
Respectfully reminding, inner-city high-rises are close proximity environments. Stress resulting from proximity reflected in rent control limits set by city governments.
Can you call the tenant and ask them to keep it down?
Sadly, I may not approach the tenant unless there is a violation.
May I approach the tenant?
In the interest of protecting civil liberties, I cannot advise you.
What's the unit number?
I am not at liberty.
Lieutenant's name?
Such information,
Sexual preferences?
unhappily, I am unable to give you what you seek. Marcus swipes, searching.
What are you looking for?
Sam gave me one of his codes a while ago. Aha!
Waiting patiently. Marcus dials 6 numbers into the air.
Can you please tell me the unit number directly above floor Z 902 and the name of the inhabitant?
Searching. Searching. Unit 761. Ventimita. Rose. Doctor.
Thank you.
May I further assist you?
No, thank you. Yes. A broom handle came into close contact with my ceiling tonight. And
Can the tenant please repeat differently?
there's a hole in my ceiling.
Repairs are scheduled by the online.
Fine.
Do I succeed providing useful and compassionate service this evening, ma'am?
Yes, thank you.
That was risky, wasn't it?
Totally. And now there's a record of me hacking.
Marcus disconnects the call and dials another.
Operator, how may I assist you?
Can you put me through to unit 761?
Unit 761 has an unlisted number.
Can you put me through?
As I said, the number's unlisted.
Marcus dials the 6-digit code again.
Sir, ma'am, imminent?
Sir.
Sir, I'm still online. Are you trying to place another call?
I thought you were AI.
No, I'm a human being. Ensuring that I can't be hacked. Can I help you?
Sorry.
Happens all the time. Anything further?
Nope, thank you. Bye.
Transition. Marcus is outside the lifts. Bell peal indicating doors opening. Marcus enters.
Going up, going down.
Up, one floor.
Scan fingers, please. Regrettably, you reside on this floor, ma'am, and are not a registered friend of any tenants on the floor above. I can take you to the cafe. I am permitted to take you to any of the bars on the lower
You're
floors.
suggesting that I should get drunk instead.
I am not authorized to advise you
Marcus exits
in a
the
way that
lift.
could impinge on civil liberties. Not only do lower bars offer beverages, alcoholic and non, proud are we to announce recent openings of licensed psychedelic clinics to support your mental
Retrieve
health.
next location in this sequence 10 minutes later. On the balcony of my apartment.
Transition. Marcus is standing on his balcony. Wind chimes. Evening traffic below.
I could see your wind chimes on the balcony right above mine. So I climbed up.
A railing appears from above. Marcus grabs it with both hands, swings, and jumps. He peers into Rose's apartment.
I saw you watching me from my balcony.
Can you see how it happened?
Yes.
Does my intent change how you feel about it? What?
I'm really embarrassed.
Hey, no, don't be. I showed you mine. I mean, you know more about me than anyone else in the whole city. Rose. I didn't intend to spy on you. You've got that right. I just wanted to tell you to keep it down. I get up here and then you weren't in any state to be interrupted, so I left.
I want you to see my context.
Okay.
My apartment, same time frame.
Transition. Rose is in Rose's apartment. She is pacing.
Voice memo, Dr. Rose Ventimita, trying out new version of DH1B touch blocker, sourcing genetically modified local anthozoa with a microdose of diacetyl morphine, which does conform to allowable limits, G7 regulation. Though no one has ever combined these, to my knowledge.
Sound of Marcus shouting from
It's
below.
the person in the apartment above. No, actually, you're right. It's an elephant. It's the elephant in the room.
The pharmaceutical challenge is the same as it's always been. ability to move in healthy people is connected to sensory awareness. However, users must be able to move while having little or no feeling in their limbs. In simple terms, I'm aiming to see if the addition of diacetylmorphine can distance the user from discomfort while still allowing normal movement.
What the hell is going on up there?
Control group, none, test group, 1. Myself. What's the worst that could happen? This is better than standing on the balcony looking at the moon. It's better than standing on the balcony looking down, imagining myself a smear of red below.
Sound of broom pounding from below.
For the record, that noise is from the apartment below.
Rose prepares herself for an injection.
God, I have invisible veins, and it's ages since I gave anyone an injection. Got it. Please don't make me nauseous. Pause. I wonder if I've got something wrong on the strand. Ratios so heavy. Seem to stop shaking.
Rose falls onto her side and goes over. She's having difficulty gauging how much effort to use in movement. She's making thumping sounds on the floor.
I can move though. I wouldn't try to stand up. Perhaps there should be even less diacetylmorphine. Yes, there's a feeling of presence, and I'm being absorbed right into it.
The sound of a cat licking skin.
I can feel that. There's a cat. It's licking my hand.
Cat begins to purr.
How odd. I haven't had a cat for years. Sensation in that hand, this arm, tingling back to life. But everywhere else, not feeling it all. I touch my own body, and this is what it must be like to touch someone else, that dreaming flesh.
This is when I arrived on the balcony.
Hello? The hand of a man in the subway. Why are we so afraid? The simplest touch disarms our reason, the body, both the track and the train. Proximity, a delight, and a terror, a mind unable to reconcile what is neither here nor there. So unpredictable! Pause! That's it. That's it. That's enough. I can't do it.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I guess that's it.
I guess.
Nothing else to share?
That's all I've got.
So we're done then.
Looks like it. I mean, if we could.
What?
No, nothing. I guess we should wrap this up. Ready?
Transition. Back to interview room. Rain.
Removing secondary viewer
Remove secondary viewer
and memory retrieval. I can't believe that.
No, after you.
No, go ahead.
You cut off my memory a little soon, a little early. When I arrived on the balcony, let me tell you what it was like from my point of view. Please?
I'm gonna drop the charges.
Good, thank you. Can I tell you anyway? You're not okay, are you? I wanted to tell you this earlier. It's just, let me tell it to you. The nautilus outgrows the chamber it resides in and builds a larger room within its shell. It lives here for a season before moving on into the next, and then the next. This is a life lived. And at its death, this series of increasingly larger, empty rooms echo the progress of the soul. It's just, no, it's not that I don't, look, I'm sorry, I've been in a lot of trouble today, Rose.
Rose pinches the air, sounding a bell.
All okay in here?
I'd like to dismiss the complaint using the empathy clause.
Splendid.
Transition. Rose's apartment in real time. A real bed, a real chair. Wind chimes. Rose lies on the floor.
Voice memo. Days and nights have passed since I met Marcus. I've been continuing to experiment. I can't remember how much I took last night, or the night before. It's only been 2 weeks, I think. I'm sure I was keeping a record, but I can't find one, which means I'm not tracking this. God, it's not supposed to be addictive. The antizoa enzyme should have moderated the addictive qualities of the morphine. My security rating has dropped. I'm afraid to see exactly by how much. I haven't looked.
Time shifts.
I have nothing. And now, I have nothing to inject. I'm grateful that no one can get in. I'm staying offline. I've become truly anonymous.
Time shifts.
Today I made a cup of tea and ate a sandwich. For the past 3 nights, I have lain on the floor, listening for him until I fall asleep. It's very quiet. Is he there now? Sound is deceptive, isn't it? I haven't been on the balcony for days, for weeks. What's happened to the sliding door? It's covered in a granular mist. Oh! Sodium chloride?
The sound of the city fades and is replaced by wave ambiance. A projection of a nautilus shell appears.
The door of the balcony is painted with sodium chloride. The glass is an icy background to hieroglyphs of shells echoed by waves. A nautilus! The bisected half revealing the crescent of a staircase. I see it. A second image within the first. The nautilus staircase is also a human spine. The spine of a woman curved around herself.
Transition. Night. Wind chimes. The hanging balcony rail descends. Rose grabs the rail and hangs, suspended for a long moment. Light transition into Marcus's apartment.
How did you get the salt to stick to the glass?
Magic.
Go on. Tell me.
I've got to have at least one secret.
Ah, yes. I have none now.
Anyway, you're a scientist. I bet you can figure it out.
It's from that thing you said. Was it a quote?
Yeah. My dad was a writer and a sociologist. He wrote this after leaving the community.
When was that?
I was 10. My mother and I stayed, and then I left when I was 24. My dad's transition now passed.
You're very quiet down here. Just faint clinking and thuds.
You've been listening to me?
No. Maybe. Did you come up to watch me?
I climbed up and did the magic when you were sleeping.
That should sound really creepy.
Oh, no. I guess it does.
But it doesn't actually. I've been...
After you.
I've been resting. I guess you could call it that. I lost my job by absence and everything else. I've expanded my reading, such as the burning down of one's entire house may be beneficial, as the absence of the house reveals a better view of the sunrise. I think this may be meant symbolically.
Yes.
I've always understood that our instincts fulfill a biological necessity.
You could say that. Scientifically.
But there's this dark gap between impulse and logic,
The space between things.
the space between people. Yes. That's the space I'm trying to access.
Yes?
Yes. The space.
This one.
Can I touch you?
How?
To start with, I want to touch your face.
Okay. What? You touched me before, and without even asking.
That was an impulse. This is awkward.
The only way forward is through.
Have you done this before?
This?
Touching.
Okay, where I grew up, people touched a lot if they knew each other. It was normal for family and even friends in the community. Like it was normal for Sam and I to hug when we greet each other.
Since then, outside of community and family, have you touched people as a way to get to know them?
Not so much.
Because you didn't like it?
No, I did. I loved being touched.
I didn't. I mean, I haven't. I've never touched anyone. Not since I was a kid, except my grandmother. I just, recently.
But you'd like to.
To touch more, to touch you, yes. But I'm
afraid. You're afraid. Afraid that you won't like it.
I'm afraid that I will like it.
And then?
Well, What's funny?
You're so bold with words. So direct. And then suddenly you're all, well, you know.
Okay, scientifically speaking, have you had sex a lot?
Scientifically speaking.
Have you, Dr. Anaranjado, engaged in sexual activity with any frequency?
No, well, I don't know.
This is a fairly binary question.
No, I'd say there's gray areas. I've definitely had a lot of sex with myself.
Oh, well, me too, but that doesn't count, does it?
I think it should. self-love. No, people who engage in totally free, unashamed self-love make the best lovers, are able to love other people, sexually and emotionally, according to research.
Unashamed self-love is kind of a tall order, don't you think?
You're telling me. Luckily, I'm a rebellious person.
Oh, you amaze me.
Not a totally irony-free zone. Okay, I see. There you go. Anyway, being a person who wants to dive into things I'm told to stay away from, I kind of went the other directions from how I was brought up, at least in some ways.
So, what now?
That depends on what you want.
I want to touch you everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. What? I'm completely serious.
Where do you want to start?
What's easiest in your experience?
We don't have to check in about everything if it feels awkward. We can start really slowly. We can listen with our hands. What?
It just sounds...
Embarrassing? Creepy? Polyamorous millennial? Rose, you can just tell me what you feel as it happens.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes. Yes, I'll talk to you.
Keep talking to me.
As they move into each other, lights fade.
Marcus,
Yes?
this?
Yes.